late three by PV, but a Paulino bucket has got the Eagles out to this advantage. Now Perkiomen Valley, as they'll try to cut into this lead. Norristown's played solid D, stayed out of as much foul trouble as they did on Tuesday. And there's a switch, but they left the man open as Aiden Quinn thought about three and now turns it over. Nice play by Sam Etheridge, as probably a little upset that a foul call was there. He might have been unabated to the basket. But third team foul on Perkiomen Valley, and the Eagles will inbound the basketball at half court. Now Dinolfi, as the 2-3 zone now switches to a 3-2 zone. Kenny remains on the bench. They find Dinolfi in the corner to Dinolfi. Sounds like a law firm. So here's Willie Anderson with the basketball. Dinolfi in the corner. They find, is that Etheridge? It is. He can't get the three to go. And Ethan Collar will clear for Perkiomen Valley. Minute into this second quarter, scores 15-9. Good, guys. As Michael Doherty hands off to Aiden Gons. They find Cameron Parks. He can't get the jumper to go. And the smallest guy on the court, Chris Dinolfi, clears for the Eagles. And they'll slow things up. He gets it to Dinolfi. Dinolfi at the elbow. And he swings it to Etheridge. Etheridge just inside the three. He can't get it to go. So, again, we're going to see Nazir Kenny back into the game. As you can see, this offensive team for Norristown right now, not necessarily geared for scoring a bunch of points, as they've struggled on the first two possessions, but certainly some firepower on that bench will be heading in shortly. 15-9, the score stays. Here's Perkiomen Valley with the basketball. And Cameron Parks, who's done most of his damage from the free throw line tonight, goes behind the backs, but Sam Etheridge with good D stays with him. Paulino. And ball is nearly stolen, but underneath. Now there's going to be an elbow jumper. It is up, and it is no good. And it's going to be last touch by Dinolfi, as the Eagles did an excellent job defensively, but the Vikings pestering the offensive boards are going to be rewarded with another possession. So Kenny back in the lineup for the Eagles. And Norristown's going to switch from a man-to-man to 2-3 zone, and somebody should have told Dinolfi, because all alone underneath was Aiden Gons. And a cheapie for Perk Valley. They pull within four. What looked like it might be a runaway here early. Sees PV right back in it. Now Willie Anderson, a strong move baseline. I'll tell you, that kid's got a bunch of game. He can hit that jumper. He can take it strong to the hoop. If he can cut down on the turnovers, he's going to be one heck of a player. Here comes PV in the corner. Aiden Quinn. Now they swing it. Open three. Up and off the front of the rim. And he's going to see the Eagles with a chance to run. Dinolfi. Nice job taken to the center of the court, and we're going to get a foul called as Chris Dinolfi with an excellent decision. Get to the center of the court. You open up the floor. You get people to the left and people to the right of you, and the possibility for scoring increases dramatically. You're taught that at a very young age. Excellent coaching there. Gabe Irizarry into the game now for the Eagles for the first time as Willie Anderson finds number 10, DJ Johnson. Paulino takes it to the hoop, can't get the left-hand layup to fall, and it's Aiden Quinn who's going to come down with it for Perkiomen Valley. 5:09 to play here in the second. It's a 6-point Eagle lead, and looks like DJ Johnson, fortunately there wasn't a foul called there. And the ball is tipped out of bounds. Last touch by the Eagles. It'll be Perkiomen Valley basketball. Marshall Baker checks in now for the Eagles. So here's Perkiomen Valley. They try to claw a little bit closer. Number 22, Dom Maselli with the basketball. He hands off to Quinn. Now back to Maselli. Doesn't look like he's interested in doing too much. Then puts the ball on the floor, finds an open guy in the corner, and the ball is going to be tipped. Last touch by number 23, Tyler Arpenta, and a turnover by Perkiomen Valley. As it looks like Perkiomen Valley tries to get back to closer to their starting five, as head coach of PV is able to buy a few minutes from his bench. Still a 6-point Eagle lead. Willie Anderson nearly lost the basketball. Gathers it back. Is Marshall Baker, and now a great jump pass. And a smooth jumper by Willie Anderson, as Nazir Kenny did an excellent job of finding the junior forward near the free throw line, and nothing but the bottom of the net for Anderson, as he and Kenny are feeling it tonight. Now a great pick there. It's going to leave. Oh, they're going to call it a blocking foul, and just not getting there in time was Marshall Baker. Excellent attempt by Baker, as the Eagles a little bit confused there, probably looking to switch off that pick, but both players went with the picking individual and not in the act of shooting, so it'll be a baseline right inbound pass for the Vikings of Perkiomen Valley. And a three from the top of the key is strong. Rebound comes down to DJ Johnson. Here come the Eagles. Baker, jump step, up, got it to go, and one. Marshall Baker with a little minor step over a la Allen Iverson versus the Lakers many, many years ago. Not to that extreme, but he got the N1. And the head coach of Perkiomen Valley has seen enough. He calls timeout as Norristown now has their biggest lead of the game, 21-11. We'll be right back.
The Vikings call timeout. It is a full timeout. Next week we will host the boys basketball game versus Truman on Monday and the girls basketball game versus Owen J. Roberts on Tuesday. The athletic department will be collecting canned goods or non-perishable food items for the Patty Simmons Holiday Food Drive. In lieu of buying a ticket, spectators may donate items for admission into the games. An adult admission will be 4 items. A student admission will be 2 items. Thank you in advance for your generosity during the holiday season. DJ Smith. Could the trainer please report to the scorers table?
So out of the timeout, we find Marshall Baker at the free throw line trying to complete an old-fashioned three-point play. And in and out, but it is Nazir Kenny who once again got an offensive rebound earlier tonight on a putback from a missed free throw. Couldn't get that to fall, and we're going to get a cheap foul on the Eagles, 16 foul. As one away for the bonus for Perkiomen Valley. But we are under 4 minutes to play here in the second quarter. A 10-point Eagle advantage. They've led the whole way. Cameron Parks. Hands off to number 3. We'll have to get a name for number 3. Don't have the roster in front of me right here, but we have Parks now in the corner again. As Parks going to look to take Kenny, and in a Euro step move. Excellent move by Cameron Parks. And a nice job by Kenny, exercises some judgment there. No cheap foul. You don't want to pick up number 2. And we're going to have steps as Marshall Baker's feet were a little bit in front of his mind there. As it looked like Kenny was calling for the basketball. Baker shuffled his feet, and a turnover on the Eagles. So now Perkiomen with the Valley with the basketball, trailing by 8. As Parks hands off to number 23, LaPenta, and that 3 is good. Tyler LaPenta shreds the net and pulls Perkiomen Valley within 5. His second 3 of the night. And the Eagles got to keep an eye on number 23, and here comes a couple of reserves for the Eagles as Paulino and Donalfi are going to get back into the game. Now Willie Anderson, elbow jump shot. It is up, it is strong, and Parks with a good job with boxing out, and all of a sudden, what was a 10-point Eagle lead can now be down to, let's see, 3 or 2 here based on what happens. We're going to nearly get an open 3 by LaPenta again. He's going to put the ball on the floor. The hands off to number 11, Collier. He can't get the 3 to go, and nobody there but blue and white for the rebound as Kenny will bring it up the court. Hands off to DJ Johnson. Johnson underneath to Isri. Layup in traffic. Got it to go. Gabe Irizarry with a nifty left-hand layup. around the trees, and he gives the Eagles a 7-point lead, 23-16, under 2 minutes to play here in the second quarter. In the corners, number 3, Braden Basil. Now Collier, guarded by Willie Anderson, gets it over to Aiden Quinn. Parks thought about 3, guarded by Kenny. Kenny's letting him shoot it, just doesn't want to get beat off the dribble. And we'll see what's going to happen here. Kenny, good defense, forces the pass. And now LaPenta with the basketball. LaPenta taken away. Oh, we're going to get a foul called, as foul's going to be on number 4, Gabe Irizarry. And it looked like all ball, though sometimes you can tell the direction, the way that ball comes out, whether or not it was hand or ball. If it comes straight down, normally means all ball. That did come out a little awkward, which leads me to believe, and I want to be a homer here, but it leads me to believe that Irizarry may have caught a little bit of the wrist there. And the foul's going to be on the floor, so it's going to be 1-on-1. It is the 17th foul on the Eagles, as LaPenta's at the free throw line. First free throw is up, and it is good. Wholesale substitutions for the Eagles on that last stoppage, as we went quite a bit in between whistles. LaPenta short. Nice job by Chaz Middleton on the rebound. Here come the Eagles. D'Onofri, a little floater, strong rebound, comes down the hands of Parks, and again a careless foul by Paulino. You don't want to commit those fouls completely at the other end in a reach-in, and a little frustration, I think, there by number 5, John Paulino. And we mentioned how Norristown got in a little bit of foul trouble early on Tuesday. They had done a decent job tonight, but recently they are sending Perkiomen Valley to the line, and these are 2 free throws, which shouldn't be happening. So Cameron Parks at the free throw line. It is 1-1, and he gets the first to go. So a couple of dribbles by the senior, and he gets the second one to go. And what was a 10-point lead is now down to 4, just a 23-19 Eagle advantage as we approach the 1-minute mark here in this second quarter. Second game in 4 days for the Eagles. Willie Anderson stems the tide, though, as he is awfully comfortable with 17 feet it in. And back to a 6-point lead for Norristown. Under a minute to play. Cameron Parks, who's been the man recently, guarded by Etheridge, gets by Etheridge, and we're going to have an offensive foul. Excellent job by John Paulino stepping in and taking the foul. He went down hard. Hopefully he didn't hit his head. Looks like he's rubbing the back of his head and the slight limp. Curious look by Dennis Flynn, one of the best in the business. But it looks like Paulino's going to be okay. But you got to have guts to take a charge like that, and Parks got by Etheridge, but Paulino deserves all the credit there as he earns the Eagles another possession. Eagles with the basketball and a 6-point lead. D'Onofri gets instruction from head coach Binky Johnson. As Nazir Kenny, who's been a little quiet since he's been in, hasn't attempted a shot since coming back in here. As he was looking to leak backdoor Etheridge, he's going to get a floater, be up and no good. It is deflected out of bounds. Last touch by number 22, Chaz Middleton. And it'll be Perkiomen Valley basketball. Under 30 seconds to play. Norristown showing some press. And a little token pressure here as Anthony Martinez breaks it. And it looks like PV may hold for one, although they are being told to move the basketball. Little 3-man weave. They get it to Parks at the top of the key. 11 seconds to play. Parks guarded by Etheridge. Hands off to Quinn. Quinn with 5 seconds left. Picks up his dribble. Finds an open man in the corner. Martinez. 1 second left. And they do get a prayer 3, but absolutely no chance did that ball have a chance of going in there. And fortunately, good defense by the Eagles, as it has been a defensive battle as the Eagles look for their first win of the evening. Perkiomen Valley 0-3 on the year. And here we go. Eagles with the basketball. We are underway here in the third. Paulino hands off to Kenny. Kenny back to DJ Johnson, top of the key. As Norristown's offense came in spurts during that first half. They underwent a couple drive spells. Little Euro step move is up and in. And a gentle touch by Nazir Kenny. As the Eagles a little confused there on that press, but they do come out in a zone press as they'll look to try to create a turnover here. But it is number 15, Michael Doherty, who is barely able to get across before 10 seconds, but he throws it away. Taken by Kenny. Kenny's going to do it himself. He gets the layup up, can't get it to go. The tip-in is no good. And the floorboard comes down after a little bit of a hustle to Perkiomen Valley. Here comes LaPenta behind his back, gives it right to Paulino. And back the other way will come. Paulino, jump stop, hands off, and they'll settle things down. As a furious 30 seconds there. But here the Eagles are up, 27-19. Just a minute into this third quarter. Willie Anderson, who's been deadly from the outside tonight, tries to continue. He does, goes down, no foul called. And let me tell you what, his balls aren't even hitting the rim. There's nothing but net there for Willie Anderson. That certainly could have been an N1, as he did not have the opportunity to land cleanly, which, according to the rules, you are supposed to be able to do. And foul on Willie Anderson Jr. there, and sure enough, you don't get a call one way, and it goes against you the next. But fouls on the floor, first team foul the Eagles, as they've increased their lead back to 10, their maximum lead in the first half. As they'll look to put Perkiomen Valley away. Cameron Parks, he can't get the jumper to go. And it is Ethan Collier who got the offensive rebound. Now a wide open three. And it is up and in, but we're going to get a traveling violation. Traveling on Michael Doherty. And he gives a somewhat confused look to the referee, as that's a big play there. Instead of it being a 7-point lead, it's Eagle basketball up 10. And they'll try to get that lead to grow. Kenny wastes no time, can't get the three to fall. And a strong rebound by Cameron Parks. And here's Norristown with the press. LaPenta gives it up underneath, and a little reverse layup try. Can't get it to go. But some slick passing there by the Vikings, and they'll be rewarded with a pair of free throws. And all of a sudden, third team foul on Chaz Middleton. The lone Eagle with 3 fouls. Now Doherty's short with his first free throw. Vicky Johnson doing his best to work the officials. Get a call later in the game. 0 of 2 at the free throw line, but Norristown does not do a very good job boxing out, and there's going to be another opportunity for the Vikings. Trapped underneath, though, is number 33, Braden Basil, and we're going to get a 5-second call. Excellent defense by the Eagles. Sorry, that was Aiden Gons there on the turnover, as he was in no man's land, and the Eagles get Perkiomen Valley to turn the ball over. So once again, they look to try to grow this 10-point lead. Paulino hands off to Kenny. DJ Johnson gets a pick. Now he takes it, a floater. It is up off the window, no good. Gets his own rebound. Second shot is up and it in. DJ Johnson with a little flex afterwards, as he's able to muscle it up and in. Getting his own offensive rebound, something the Eagles have been very good at tonight. But we're going to get a layup that is missed, and certainly the long arm of the law there by Nazir Kenny dissuaded Perkiomen Valley from getting 2 points, and instead we're going to have a foul underneath, as going hard to the floor is number 22, Chaz Middleton. Very unselfish play there by Kenny. Sometimes it doesn't matter if you block the shot, just a long, intimidating arm can do some damage, and what should have been an easy layup for Aiden Gons, he can't get it to go, and the Eagles in transition, already up 12 with an opportunity to increase that lead. Middleton's first free throw is up and in. And a lead that was 6 that is now 13. You got to think head coach Mike Poiston of Perkiomen Valley might be thinking about taking a timeout to try to stem the tide here a little bit. 1 of 2 at the free throw line, but it is the Eagles that come down with the basketball, and Chaz Middleton is the beneficiary of an offensive rebound. He gets it to fall, and it is a 34-19 lead. And right on cue, a timeout is called as having trouble inbounding the basketball was number 11, Ethan Collier. And Poison's going to have to use this opportunity to settle his troops down as this lead has ballooned to 15 just 3 minutes in to this third quarter. Just a 30-second timeout, so we'll stay here with you. We mentioned earlier tonight the Eagles with a disappointing loss Tuesday to Springford, a team that they certainly it looked like they were better than, and they controlled much of the second half. Just a handful of turnovers and inability to capitalize and transition cost the Eagles that game. But one good thing about basketball is you only got to wait a couple nights to get that bad taste out of your mouth, and the Eagles certainly off to a nice start right now. Perkiomen Valley has played one Pac-10 game so far, and they lost a nail-biter to O&J Roberts 47-45 on Tuesday. They had two non-league losses to a couple of Bucks County's team. So both teams searching for their first win. So out of the timeout, the Eagles set up their zone press, as it has been relatively effective tonight. And the Eagles provide little resistance inbounding the basketball, looking like maybe they want to get a steal, but we're going to get a foul called. And the hands of, looks like going to be number 10, DJ Johnson. He doesn't like the call. But again, you're going to get called when you reach in there. Likelihood is that foul is going to be called. So the Eagles dial it back a little bit here, as it is Cameron Parks with the basketball. He is guarded by Chaz Middleton. Middleton has 3 fouls. Don't be surprised if they go after him, try to get him out of the game. Off a screen, LaPenta, 3, good. We've seen a couple decent offensive sets by Perkiomen Valley tonight that have resulted in Tyler LaPenta threes, and Willie Anderson can't get the first shot to go, can't get the second shot to go, and Middleton can't get the third shot to go. So a number of opportunities there as the Eagles are playing pepper with the rim, but they just can't get anything to fall. But the hustle pays off as 2 free throws for Chaz Middleton. Middleton with a handful of dribbles. The right-handers up and in. Second free throw, it is up and it is strong. And it is Ethan Collier with the rebound, but taken away by Norristown. And now a scrum on the floor. Willie Anderson got up with the basketball. And it looks like we're going to get a timeout before the travel's called. Normally you're lying on the floor with that basketball, you get up, they're going to call a walk. But Coach Binky Johnson with a heads-up play to call a timeout. And they're going to call a timeout, just a short timeout again, as the Eagles lead by 13, 35-22, as we near the midway point of tonight's contest. Eagles certainly looking to find an identity here early on as a young group of players who have played together relatively well to start, but I just think they have to play together more to kind of understand where everybody's going to be. You learn that cohesion and that unity that can only come with time and practice. So I said it Tuesday, I'll say it again. I think this Eagle team is going to be a lot better in February than they are right now, provided they stay healthy and the young players grow. So here we are out of a timeout. It is DJ Johnson with the basketball. Johnson hands off to Willie Anderson Jr. Willie Anderson, little move, pull-up jumper. Got it to go as Willie Anderson, a little shake of his head, as whatever he's throwing up tonight seems to be going in. And it's back to a 15-point lead as the Eagles are selling out, and we're going to get another reach in there. And once again, the Eagles maybe committing some fouls a little further away from the basket than Binky Johnson would hope. I think he likes the aggressiveness, but just over the half-court line, I don't think you want to see fouls out there. So the Eagles will settle in, look to play Good defense here as they open up here man-to-man on this offensive possession, as it's Middleton guarding number 15, Michael Doherty. Now a turnover, and we're going to get a foul. Oh, they're going to call a foul on Nazir Kenny, and he's as confused as I am, as I don't quite understand that. There was a loose ball on the floor, and Kenny has a right to be upset, as that was a mistake. That's a missed call right there. But Norristown still leads by 15. 3:33 to play. Here's Cameron Parks. Hands off to number 2, Aiden Quinn. Quinn in the corner. LaPenta underneath. Good look. And passing up a three, getting it back out to Quinn. And the line drive is no good. Willie Anderson tips it to himself. Now last touch by Perkiomen Valley. Is a nice job by Willie Anderson and Kenny on the defensive boards. And the Eagles already up 15. They want to make this one a laugher. So DJ Johnson with the basketball. Waits for Nazir Kenny to cross the half-court line. Now Willie Anderson back to Kenny. Well, I should say Johnson. Kenny has an open three. And short, but we're going to get a foul called. We are going to get a foul called, as it looked like not giving Kenny an opportunity to land, or a little hit on the wrist. Yeah, we are going to get a little slap on the wrist. A very late call. That almost looked as if that ball goes in, the foul might not be called, as normally when that wrist is hit, the foul's called right away. But who cares? 3 free throws for Nazir Kenny. And he is fortunate not to be called for a violation, as his foot was over the free throw line before the ball hit that rim. I've been called that in a rec league before. Second free throw misses. So Etheridge into the game now for Paulino. And Dinalfi sees his first action of the second half. So 2 of 3 at the line for Kenny, and he gives the Eagles their largest leads, 39-22. 3 minutes to play here in the third quarter as the Eagles continue to try to press. And just barely getting it across before the 10-second call is the Vikings. And now a lane to the hoop for Ethan Colliers. He gets the layup to go, as Norristown might have just dozed off there for a second. Kenny with the basketball. Sees Willie Anderson. Anderson, that familiar, goes baseline, gives it to Middleton. Middleton lost control, lucky to get it back. Now Dinalfi will repossess the basketball, and he turns it over. Poor pass by Dinalfi, taken away by number 23, LaPenta. Here comes Perkiomen Valley. Open three in the corner is up. It is no good. Off the top of the backboard and out of bounds. Going to be Eagle ball. And a fortunate series of events there for the Eagles, as a wide open three for PV doesn't go. And it's still a 15-point league, and now a foul 32 feet away from the basket by Michael Doherty.
Foul is on number 15, Michael Doherty, his second, team 4.
Now John Dinalfi seeing his first action of the second half.
At number 50. John Dinalfi checking into the game for the Vikings is number 33, Aiden Gans.
So it is Chris Dinalfi running the point for the Eagles. And he is going to be close to trap. He splits it, and he throws it away again. 2 consecutive turnovers by Dinalfi, and a layup that is no good, but it looks like we're going to get a foul called underneath. And hard to the floor was Cameron Parks, and he's grabbing his right wrist, trying to shake it loose. Not sure if he's fouled or not, but certainly looks like the senior's in a little bit of pain. And he can't believe he's not going to the free throw line, as it was a separate foul. Parks thought he was fouled in the act of shooting, but a foul called off the miss. And now turnabout's fair play as Dinalfi creates the steal for the Eagles. Gets it back in the corner. Pulls up the jumper. No good. Rebound. Kenny in a world of trouble down there. They're going to call a jump ball, as he was surrounded by PV arms, and the arrow is in the favor of the Vikings. And it'll be Perkiomen Valley basketball. That's one Nazir. Maybe wants to pull out. find an open teammate as he was double teamed in a difficult spot there. 1:44 to play, 39-24. Eagles lead by 15. They've played very well defensively, allowing just 5 points so far this entire third quarter. Now Denolfi in LaPenta's kitchen, and we're going to get a foul called underneath away from the basketball, and that's going to be the 17th foul, so it looks like PV is going to be shooting free throws from this point forward. Fouls on Etheridge, just his second, but now in the 101 bonus, Cameron Parks back to a familiar place tonight, the free throw line, as it's going to be a short rest for Willie Anderson, as I think Binky Johnson wants to keep Perkiomen Valley at bay and keep his best offensive players in the game. Free throw is up and no good, and first to the basketball is Kenny. Kenny hands off to Denolfi, gets it back, but shuffling his feet is Denolfi. As, not sure if he didn't catch it clean, but excellent idea to give it right back to the passer. But Denolfi has committed 3 turnovers in the last 5 offensive possessions for the Eagles. It's a tough second half so far for Denolfi, but he's a player. He'll be fine. Now Parks, guarded by Kenny. Parks can take his man off the dribble. He's going to try to do that now. Pulls up and leans in. Layup is, or jumper's no good. Gets his own rebound. And now an open 3, but passing up on that 3 is a Viking player, and he turns it over. Willie Anderson read the pass and took it away. Here come the Eagles. Pass up to Denolfi. Chris Denolfi now. Thought about 3 as Kenny is triple teamed. He gets to Willie Anderson. Shocker. Willie hit a 17-footer. Can't give this guy room to breathe because he's going to bury you, Willie Anderson, again from outside. 47 seconds to play. It's a 17-point Eagle lead. Here's Aiden Quinn in the corner to Parks. He tries to go baseline. And here's number 33, Braden Basil. Parks thought about 3, guarded by Denolfi. Denolfi does a nice job of staying down. There's a height advantage there if he wants to try to back him down. But instead they give it up to Quinn. 26 seconds to play. In the corner, open 3, passed up by Collier. Gets it back to Quinn. 3, Parks up, no good. And it is excellent job there by Kenny, not going over the back to take the rebound of the way. And Norristown's going to get the last look of the third quarter. Already up by 17. Denolfi, 6 seconds, hands over, gets it back. He's going to have to do it himself. He pulls up for 3, can't get it to go, but that'll do it. Excellent quarter for the Eagles, who see their lead mushroom to 17. So after 3, we see the Eagles out to a 41-24 lead.
Cheerleaders.
We're just about ready to start this fourth quarter, which sees Norristown with a 17-point lead. They led by 6 at the half, but an 11-point advantage in that third quarter. Some strong defensive efforts. And did some damage at the free throw line. Willie Anderson jump shots. And here we go, as we'll see if Norristown's a set play, as Perkiomen Valley trying to trap Nazir Kenny. Finger roll, up and got it to go. Nazir Kenny, as the Eagles, well coached, well prepared for that trap that was set up, and they get a great look. And the largest lead of the game at 19. So here's Perkiomen Valley. It's just trying to keep this thing respectable at this point, and ball is nearly taken by Willie Anderson. Can't believe he didn't grab it. As Anderson read the pass, but just couldn't garner it. So it'll be Viking basketball as they will inbound sideline right. Paulino back into the game now as he spells number 2, Marshall Baker. So here's Perkiomen Valley. Excellent chance here for the Eagles to trap. They pass up as Cameron Parks guarded by Paulino. Good defense by Paulino. And Willie Anderson gets the floorboard. And now the Eagles, you don't know how much of a hurry they're going to be in at this point, up 19. just looking to play a clean game for the remaining 7 minutes. And instead we're going to get a foul called on the corner by number 4 on Perkiomen Valley. 15 foul for Perkiomen Valley. Chaz Middleton gets it underneath. Kenny, layup, up, good. Good look by Middleton. Got it inside to Kenny, and Kenny did an excellent job finishing, and is now a 21-point Eagle lead. As they continue to pester Perkiomen Valley defensively, and certainly some feelings of payback for what happened last year. A couple of disappointing losses to Perkiomen Valley. Norristown more than making them up for that right now, as they're on the break again. Willie Anderson gives it up to a cutting Paulino, and he gets the finger roll to go. And all of a sudden, you blink your eyes, and it's a 23-point Eagle lead. Cameron Parks as the little spin move there, and Martinez gets the turnaround jumper to go. First bucket for Perkiomen Valley in a while. Still a 21-point Norristown lead. Anderson splits the double team. Looking for the open man. Instead, he kicks it out to number 10, DJ Johnson. So dire straits now for Perkiomen Valley, and Parks commits what's maybe a frustration foul. Little reach in, the 16th foul, so Eagles will be in the penalty on the next Perkiomen Valley foul. Willie Anderson, who is the designated inbounder for the Eagles. A little miscommunication there, and it's going to be not going to be a turnover, as winning the race was Middleton. Now the Eagles in transition. Kenny, open three, no good. But again, the Eagles use their athleticism, get another opportunity. Paulino gets the layup to go. Another excellent feed as the Eagles scoring by via the assist tonight. As it's been can certainly be described as a team game so far, as Eagles have been very unselfish with the basketball. And that's the way the night's gone so far for Perkiomen Valley, as that ball catches every bit of the rim but can't fall. And a foul underneath. So the Eagles going to head to the free throw line. So maybe a slow last 5 minutes and 26 seconds of this fourth quarter, as both teams in the penalty. We will be shooting free throws both ways from this point forward. So Kenny at the line, he's got a 1-and-1. And again, he's just a junior, but he's a veteran. Get a couple extra breaths there at the free throw line. Rest up. Gets the first one to fall. Decent crowd on hand tonight. Not quite what we had Tuesday, but still, they're a boisterous bunch. As 2 for 2 for Kenny, as the Eagles nearly doubling up Perkiomen Valley. It's 51-26. 5 minutes and 17 seconds to play, and a little layup is going to be up and no good. And Paulino has the rebound as the Eagles look to push, and we're going to get a charge. We are going to get a charge, as just clipping the shoulder of Martinez was Chaz Middleton. That's Middleton's fourth, as he just clipped his shoulder a little bit, but enough to draw the offensive foul. So we are at about the 5-minute mark of this fourth quarter. The Eagles seem to be just several minutes away here from getting their first win of the year, an important Pac-10 win, and evening their record at 1-1. Martinez, jump stop pass in the corner, and the three is short. Offensive rebound comes down to Perkiomen Valley, and Dan Maselli is able to put it back up and in. And it is still a 51-28 Eagle lead, and another foul underneath. And again, not in the act of shooting, as Paulino and Willie Anderson have a brief discussion, albeit colorful, as Paulino's going to go to the line for 1-1. And a couple of substitutions now for Norristown, as head coach Bicky Johnson is going to take arguably his best two offensive players, Nizier Kenny and Willie Anderson Jr. out of the game. We'll see if they do get back in. Probably depends upon the score. But a very comfortable 25-point Eagle lead with just 4 minutes and change left. A high-arcing second free throw is no good. So 1 or 2 at the line for Paulino. It's 53-28. As a 3 up by the top of the key is no good, but they're going to get Sam Etheridge for over the top. As he was able to get the rebound, but number 22, Dan Maselli, had position. And Etheridge goes over the top. He's got to do a little bit better job using his rear end to back that guy out of there. So instead it's going to be Brian O'Shea at the free throw line. And it looks like some wholesale substitutions on the side of PV, as head coach Mike Poison may be waving the white flag here with such an insurmountable lead with 4 minutes left, as the free throw is up and it is an air ball. So O'Shea fails to find the rim on his attempt, so Eagle basketball. Gabe Earsey, and we're going to foul underneath, as it's Anthony Martinez on the reach in. And what was a really, fluid game in the first 3 quarters has slowed to a crawl here during the fourth, as both teams have been guilty of fouls on multiple possessions here on the offensive end. Marshall Baker gets the first free throw to go. This is the last 1-1 for the Eagles, so they'll be shooting 2 from this point forward. Second free throw is up, and it is good, 55-28. As the Eagles been all blue and white since third quarter began, and a careless turnover there by O'Shea, and Eagle basketball. So nothing much left to decide here except what the score differential is going to be here, as the Eagles will get their first win of the evening, or first win of the season, I should say. Now, Sam Etheridge has it nearly taken away, and he goes to the floor, but it is number 20. We don't have number 20's name here for us. Instead, we see a 3 from the corner, up and no good. As Earsey can't get it to fall, but it's Marshall Baker now. As both teams deep into their reserves. As it's Baker. Baker tries to spin, can't, hands it off. And that certainly could have been a foul call. Nothing called there. And it looks like Etheridge with a finger roll. Couldn't draw the contact, can't get it to go. Excellent effort by Sam Etheridge, just not rewarded with a bucket. Here comes PV. As it's Martinez. His 3 is no good. Long rebound. Comes out to Perkiomen Valley. That layup is no good. Second shot, no good. Here comes Stead. Now the Eagles, 2-on-1. Denalfi or Earsey, sorry. And we're going to get an offensive foul. Binky Johnson can't believe it. And I got to tell you, neither can I. I don't believe that Martinez was set. You got to be set there to take that offensive foul. I find it hard to believe. I'll have to take a look at the replay that doesn't exist, but in my mind, I know how that went down. So here we are, 3 minutes to play, and the clock not moving. Well, now it is. Under 3 minutes now. Here we go. Eagles by 27. Eagles by 25. Now the Eagles back down the offensive end, and we are going to get a traveling violation. So another turnover by the Eagles, as it's gotten a little bit sloppy. And it looks like a foul on the Norristown end is going to result as 2 free throws, I should say. 2 free throws now for Perkiomen Valley. First free throw is up and it is good. So this is Joshua Pelzer at the line as try to draw Perkiomen Valley within 23. He cannot. Instead clears the defensive board. So here come the Eagles. That's Gomez. Hands off to Sam Etheridge, and he got the finger roll to go. Etheridge on a nice feed. And the Eagles back up by 26, 57-21. And now Etheridge absolutely hounding Anthony Martinez. Now Irze playing solid defense, instead stays down, but good pump fake. Martinez gives it up, and the Eagles making it difficult on PV. They do get an open three, and coming down with the board is going to be Zaki Gomez. 2 minutes to play. And Marshall Baker is going to be called for traveling. And again, a confused look on the face of head coach Pinky Johnson, but nothing to get too upset about considering your team's up by 26 with 2 minutes to play. So here's Dan Maselli with the basketball. Hands off to Braden Bassel. Bassel backs it back out. And a little shot up and no good, but the foul's going to be on Sam Etheridge. And that'll send PV to the line as once again we have a stoppage in play. It'll be Alex Martinez to shoot a couple. First free throw is up and no good as the lefty with an awkward shot can't get it to go. Second free throw is up and in, 1 of 2 for the Viking freshman forward. So here's Norristown, up 25, 1:36 to play. Here's Stead. They get it over to Baker. Etheridge nearly has it taken away. Now he may have an avenue, but he gives it up in the corner for an open three. Gomez got it to go. Zaki Gomez as a 60 burger now for the Eagles as they lead 60-32. Minute 13 to play. 3 in the corner. That's going to be strong. Marshall Baker clears for Norristown. As we have just 1 minute to play. Is it a carbon copy? As Irze couldn't get it to fall from just about the exact spot Zaki Gomez did 30 seconds earlier. So 60-32, Eagles lead by 28. Gomez plays solid D. Another three in the corner. It is up, it is no good. And Gomez with a nice job boxing out. And a bounce pass to Sam Etheridge. And a strong move by Etheridge. Gets the right hand layup to fall. 62-32, largest lead of the game. As we are under 27 seconds to play. Fall away jumper is up and good. 20 seconds to play now. As we'll see, it's going to be difficult for the Eagles to dribble this out. Normally 16 seconds with such a lead, you'll dribble it out, but if the other team's going to play you so close, you got no choice but to try to score. So the 10th team foul on Perkiomen Valley. Marshall Baker will go to the free throw line for a pair. First free throw is up and good. And Pinky Johnson's going to pull all the Eagles off the line there as they'll look to play one more solid defensive possession and head to a happy locker room. 13 seconds to play, 1 of 2 at the free throw line for Baker. As we have 8 seconds to play. One final chance for Perkiomen Valley. And a layup is up and no good. One more is up and no good. Tip in and it's good. They'll count it, but it's all cosmetic on the scoreboard. As the Eagles bounce back from a disappointing first loss of the season to Springford, and they clobber, absolutely clobber, Perkiomen Valley tonight, 63-36. So Norristown evens their record at 1-1. They'll be back in action in a couple of days. I'm Ian Morris. Thanks.